Hey guys, this is D'Angelo Thompson, and welcome to Beauty and Gratitude. It's Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So wherever you are, I just want to say hello and think about what you're grateful for the entire week, today, and beyond. You know, I've had some great guests so far. I've had Rodney Fitzhughes, owner of the Reputat Perfume. I've had Jared Cameron, writer of Ocean Dreams, Musa Jackson, Harlem Ambassador, and so many others. And now, tonight, I have a good friend that I've known for a very long time and just an overall great human being, producer, agent, brand ambassador as well, and many facets of his career. So I want you to meet and talk to Richard Pelzer. Hey, Richard.
Hey, how are you, D'Angelo?
I'm good. Actually, I want to do this. Richard E. Pelzer II. Let's get that right. In honor of
Yeah,
your dad.
there
Yes.
is a Richard Pelzer around, and he's very proud of Richard Pelzer II. So,
I'm sure he is.
I'm very proud of him as well.
Yes, Richard, thank you for doing this first and foremost. It's interesting. I knew about you before I met you. So let me explain that. I would see you out and about in New York City, let's say in the let's say early 90s, early 90s. And, Sound Factory Bar, different places, you name it. And you would be with friends that I knew, like Sam Fine and others. And Jones, many others, So I knew that we all were kind of in the fashion business in different shapes and forms. So you
Uh-huh.
started out as an agent, is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So originally, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, from the Midwest, and moved to New York City in 1994. However, I did an internship at Elite Model Management in the summer of 1991. It was only supposed to be for 2.5 months, and it turned into 9 months. And it
Oh,
gave me
wow.
that chance to, figure out that one, people get paid to talk on the phone, and
Mhm.
two, it was very eye opening for me. I went to Kent State University. I made a promise to my dad that I would, one, graduate. So his fear was me coming to New York, that I would not complete school. And I, no, I wouldn't. And what happened was, I had the opportunity to work on the New Faces board at Elite. And at the time, Elite was the modeling agency of all
Top
modeling
of the
agencies.
top, yes. Mhm.
And not only in New York, but around the world as well. So we had almost all of the supermodels that you can actually name, except for three. We didn't have Christy Turlington, we didn't have Claudia Schiffer, and we didn't have Nikki Taylor. And Nikki Taylor was with Elite, but she already went to this new agency that started, which was called Spectrum, and then Spectrum actually turned into IMG. But
All right.
any of the other young ladies we pretty much actually had. So it was an amazing summer for me. I got a chance to meet Sam Fine, the makeup artist that summer. I got a chance to meet my friend Jones, which you also mentioned, Jones, and James Hicks, who is a photographer. I met them all at Elite, and we've been friends ever since. So I take my internship very seriously. And I support folks that want to be able to study, and it gave me a chance to understand the industry, in a totally different light. So yes, I had a chance to stay an additional 5 months, went back home, and crammed it. Like, I'm going to get my degree, and then move back to New York. And then I moved back in 1994.
can find all the Satonic products at our Go shop on Solivity at go.solivity.com now. Shop for beauty products, skincare, hair care. It is all there at the Go shop. Go shop Solivity.
Life is full of moments. And when sickness breaks your momentum, from the 5 a.m. stomach bug, or stress and anxiety at work, don't forget you have Teladoc.
Great care options by phone, video, or app. 24/7 access to doctors. And access to therapists 7 days a week.
From anywhere you are, day or night. Whatever it is, we're always ready to help. So you can get back to enjoying life's best moments faster. Life is good. Enjoy it well.
Visit a doctor today without even leaving your home. For as little as $19.95 per month for a family plan, you get access to board-certified physicians as often as you need it. And there's $0 for medical visits anytime, anywhere. Register now by visiting solivity.com/health perks. That's solivity.com/health perks. We work so hard sometimes. Isn't it time for a break? Take a walk. Or enjoy nature. Or maybe a leap. Or a ride. Or even a dip. Spending time with a friend. Or some time alone. Whatever it is, always spend time growing and learning with a Solivity weekend. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on Solivity TV.
That's amazing. And while you were at Elite, I was at Beth Ann Hardison.
Okay.
So internship. It was actually at Beth Ann Hardison and also Now Model Management at the time. So two extremes, Queen Beth Ann, and then Now was an Israeli agent that owned a few agencies around the country and the world. And then Beth Ann, who's like the mother hen, with
Yes.
Veronica Webb and Rashamba,
Yeah.
and eventually Tyson Bedford. So it was an education. I learned a lot. And I was a huge observer, I would say, more than anything, and definitely a go-getter. I knew how to do any book to get you a job.
Right.
They'd hand you those books. They're like, okay, this person's going to Vogue. Read through their book.
Yeah. No, it was eye-opening. It was great. It was a great way for me as a young person, growing up in the Midwest, coming to New York City for the very first time and being thrown, I would say, in the deep end and just figuring out how to survive. So if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And that's what I took away from that whole experience. So it was wonderful.
That's true. You better learn how to swim here, especially I was living off of saltine crackers and sardines, basically.
We all were.
Walking to Beth Ann from Brooklyn, because she was in downtown in Tribeca at the time. So I laugh sometimes when kids are like, I don't have money for an Uber. I'm like, oh, honey.
Hit it.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
my godfather lived in Connecticut, so I was coming in from Trumbull, Connecticut on the metro train, the liner from Connecticut to 42nd Street, and from 42nd Street I walked all the way to 22nd Street. So I had a walk, as well, to kind of get back and forth. So yeah.
Yes. You do what you have to do. And then in 1994, you launched Mega, Productions, correct?
So yes, what actually happened was really interesting. I moved back, got a job in corporate America, and I was working with Sony Music. Well, actually, it was Sony America, because again, Sony had three different divisions. So it was Sony Electronics, Sony Music, and then Sony America, which was like the umbrella. So on 55th and Madison that year, they opened up the Sony store, the Sony Style store. So there was Sony Signature, and it was their way of, figuring out how they would be able to incorporate a number of, T-shirts, merchandising, and to showcase their electronics. And initially, they weren't really selling. They were really just highlighting what was actually coming. But so many people were coming into the store, they wanted to purchase. So then they turned it into a retail store, and it gave me a chance to say, I can actually take what I've learned at Kent State as a pseudo fashion student, a pseudo art student, and sell. And then it turned a little bit too corporate for me. And so I decided that, I needed to do something else. I interviewed at a couple of agencies. There was an agency called Company, and I was very close. I went to William Morris, and so I decided, well, what, let me try this on my own. So me and another friend of mine that I met, Jason Campbell, decided that we were going to start this agency called Mega. Now, I had to be really honest. The agency was really called Omega. But when we went to the printer, they left the O off and it became Mega. And that's how we became Mega Model Management, because it was Omega, but it became Mega because the O kind of fell off. So I just wanted to tell people that. I get a kick out of that story all the time. That the printer came up with our name.
At the agency, you repped models, correct? Actors, yes. Children.
So we started off, when I was at Elite, even though it was amazing, there was still this I don't want to say stigma, but it was this thing where you only could have one Black model, on the board at one time. And I don't know why I had a problem with that. And so I really wanted to, develop an agency where I would be able to mentor and develop more models that look like me, look like my mom and my sisters. And so that was one of the things that was really important to us. So we started off with young ladies between the ages of 14 and 19, 5'8" and above. And then more folks started coming in, guys started coming in, children started coming in. And then Jones, who was a stylist at the time, decided that he really wanted to start working with the young people. And we created, a sub agency called Megamites. And the Megamites were all of the young people, or the younger actors, models that were there. And that part of the agency did extremely well when we first launched. And then Jones kind of moved on and did his own thing with print degrees, which was really great. And then 9/11 happened. Mm-hmm. And it really changed the whole dynamic of what the industry was here in New York. A lot of the business kind of went away to Canada and to Los Angeles and into Miami. So we had to really start to figure out, what the next steps were. And that's when I decided that I wanted to kind of get into, it was this thing where a lot of professionals, such as yourself, hairstylists, makeup artists, were, coming from behind the scenes in front. And so that's where I talked to Sam, and I represented Sam Fine to really, he wanted to do a little bit more than just makeup. He really wanted to start to teach. He was coming out with a book, and we wanted to do this tour. So we did the Sam Fine Beauty Tour. And it was another way that I realized that I loved doing events. So it gave me a chance to, plan his 11 city tour that we actually did. We came up with a class for professionals because there was a number of folks that wanted to assist him. So we came up with a tutorial or a workshop class for makeup artists or working makeup artists. And then we came up with one with just the everyday women that, hey, I needed to figure out how to compete. You know, at that time, you know, and this is still the mid 90s, you know, makeup was very different than it is today. There wasn't a large range. People were still kind of mixing colors and mixing products together.
Yes.
And then Sam, you know, kind of wanted to give that little bit of oomph for, you know, that professional woman who, you know, they knew how to do their hair, but mom didn't really, or grandma didn't really, you know, we didn't really do a lot with makeup. So we noticed that was an area that, you know, we were interested in doing. And we were very successful with, you know, with the tour. So it gave me like this sense that as a producer, I wanted to, you know, do a little bit more in the event cultural space.
Right.
Welcome to your new you with Aspire by Solivity. Virtual inspiration for your mind, body, and soul. With the help of at-home experts and celebrity guests, Aspire by Solivity provides tools to tap into the passion and purpose that lives within you. Find classes to educate and motivate you. From nutrition to your body and a whole lot more. So, take the leap. Start your new journey with Aspire by Solivity today. Sign up now.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame. Living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Solivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Solivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So tune in every Wednesday right here on Solivity TV to join the fun, and remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
Solivity Magazine and Beyond Words Publishing want to remind you about the importance of continuing to follow public health guidelines to protect yourself, your loved ones, and your community. Please continue to wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Please visit these sites for further information about how to stay safe from COVID-19 into the new year. Remember, love protects us.
And you know what's interesting? You've been ahead of the curve by decades, my friend, 2 to 3 decades, you know. Talk diversity inclusion back in the 90s, early 90s, and I was the same way. I would make sure if I could suggest someone, it would be someone of color, you know. And it shows people that you have vision and you're not going to buy into the stigma or what they say is in fashion. And that's good that you were ahead of the curve. Beyond that, I know that branding, producing, being an agent led you into more film production. Is that correct?
Yes. Again, when people It depends on how they meet me. That's who I am. And I'm realizing that so
Me too.
meet me as a publicist, Rich is a publicist. If they meet me as a manager, then I'm a manager. If they met me as a booking agent, then I was a booking agent. But if I had to define myself, or if I ever had to define myself, I always saw myself more as a producer. And a producer, an event producer or a film producer. And the idea was, if you had an idea, you can pull it down and you can produce it and make it work, then you're a producer. If you're just, have an idea and you can't pull it down, then it's just a dream. And I really did take, that really serious, of sometimes taking some very hard projects, or we would consider them to be hard. And it's hard to me is like, okay, we really don't have any funding. We have this really great idea. We know a couple of people. How can we put this together and build something out of it? And talking it into existence is my thing. Like if this is a really great idea and it's something that I'm passionate about and I can kind of pull it all together, I was always excited about those projects. And now in my career, I get to pick and choose the projects that I want to work on, which it took me a very long time to actually do. Because as you know, living in New York City is very expensive. So the idea is you have to be able to keep a roof under your head, still be able to be sane, still take care of all the other things, and still be able to create. And I'm blessed, and I don't take this for granted at all, that I'm in a position that I can still do all of those things now. Now it's to amplify all of those different types of things. And what I've realized is, if you can take care of the community will take care of you. And during the pandemic, that's exactly what happened. I mean, it was very slow for a number of different people, but I still had a lot of folks that were still looking out for me, for me to kind of get through, and I was still looking out for other people as well. So that's the idea and the concept, and I'm ready to kind of take that to the next level for my closing or swan song of my career.
I believe that we're multidimensional beings, and also when you're creative, you can do many things. And I would always refuse when people would say, you're just a makeup artist. I'm like, no. Right. I've worked in business. I've been an account exec. I've worked for presidents of companies. I know how a business is ran. I know how to maneuver, produce, etc. And so do you. And you can use those skills to open doors. And as you said, the community does take care of you. 2020 was not a struggle for me, knock on wood. 2021 was not a struggle for me. And moving forward, it really was about how important it is to create really powerful relationships. That's what our business is about.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that when these opportunities present themselves, and as you mentioned, I would like to think of myself as a visionary and a person that, could, somewhat see these opportunities and what we would be able to actually do as an Imagineer. That's what's exciting to me. And I see so many amazing and talented people that I just would like to inspire them to say that this is an opportunity. And if this is something that you would like to do, this is a way that you would want to do it. Now, earlier in my career, I had to learn that just because I believe in you and you don't believe in yourself, it becomes a problem. I can't want this more than you do. So, I would force people to say, no, you could do this and we're going to do this. Then it becomes Richard is just doing it. And I'm realizing that that doesn't always happen. So that was an aha moment for me. So I'm really now putting out, in the universe for folks to be attracted and saying, hey, I see you and I would like to participate. And this is how I can participate. And it's been working.
Exactly. And now you're the founder of Harlem CLX. Is that correct? Formerly Harlem 2020. Explain to our viewers what that is.
So let me go back just a little bit, and then I can give you the proper timeline to where we are now. So as you initially mentioned, the company was Mega Model Management. And then in 1999, we incorporated. So we became Mega Management. And then in 2005, I was taking care of so many of these big personalities. We became Mega Personalities. And then from Mega Personalities in about 2013, I had the opportunity to work with the Small Business Administration and the National Justice Coalition out of DC to do this this initiative. And we did this big event in Brooklyn called Many Faces, One Dream. And out of that, we got about 230 different small business owners, LGBT small business owners around New York City. And out of that, there were 20 of them from Harlem. So we did a Facebook group, which was called Harlem 2020. And the way that we came up with that name, it was the 20 different businesses, and I encouraged them to hire at least one person. And so it became Harlem 2020. So it wasn't really the year, it was really 20 businesses, and to hire one person became the vision of Harlem. The reason I live in Harlem, I work in Harlem, I invest in Harlem, I play in Harlem. So, you know, Harlem is community and my neighborhood. I've lived in Harlem longer than I lived anywhere else. So it's a thing for me right now, right? And so with that actually said, when the year came, 2020, and has gone, and I would tell people about this initiative that we actually have of working with the different businesses. I always get stopped, and people would tell me what happened during that year. So I was like, okay, I need to kind of grow from this, and what could we actually do? And so earlier this year, we came up with HarlemCLX, which is Harlem CLX, Create, Learn, and Experience. And the reason that we came up with HarlemCLX is really I wanted people to be able to create within the space in our neighborhood of Harlem, to learn about our neighborhood, and to experience, you know, our neighborhood. I look at Harlem as, you know, the center of all Black culture, or it could be really looked at as, you know, the center of American soul. And I really do think that American soul, when it comes to culture here in this part of the city, where folks from all over, you know, the country and the world, the century and the world, you know, they were kind of, you know, developed here during that Renaissance period. And I think that, you know, over the decades from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, all the way up until now, it's still developing, and I get a chance to experience that part of culture. And what excites me now is the opportunity to share the culture here in Harlem. We're moving into this thing called the metaverse, you know, and if we don't start to define ourselves, somebody else will define it for us. And I really think a really great way for us at this point in time to celebrate the history that we actually have, the food, the culture, the fashion, the beauty, all of it. And, you know, as I said, like you said, people from around the world are actually coming here. And I just think that this is another amazing way for us to do it. And that's what, you know, HarlemCLX is all about. I always wanted to click. I always wanted to be at the cool table, you know.
You are at the cool table. Come on.
So.
Solivity Magazine and Beyond Words Publishing want to remind you about the importance of continuing to follow public health guidelines to protect yourself, your loved ones, and your community. Please continue to wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Please visit these sites for further information about how to stay safe from COVID-19 into the new year. Remember, love protects us.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame, living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Solivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Welcome to your new you with Aspire by Solivity. Virtual inspiration for your mind, body, and soul. With the help of at-home experts and celebrity guests, Aspire by Solivity provides tools to tap into the passion and purpose that lives within you. Find classes to educate and motivate you. From nutrition to your body and a whole lot more. So, take the leap. Start your new journey with Aspire by Solivity today. Sign up now.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Solivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So tune in every Wednesday right here on Solivity TV to join the fun, and remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
When I think about Harlem CLX and about Harlem as a community, I don't know what the population demographic is, but I know that it's amazing. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot, maybe hundreds of thousands of people in the Harlem area, maybe even millions. But I do know that Harlem imports is the key word, or and exports a lot of culture into the world.
Yes.
Music, fashion, food. During Sandy, and I know this for a fact because I was living in Harlem then on 145th and Convent, and also 2020, even though I was in LA, I was coming back and forth to work shortly after the pandemic, I would say in August. One thing I noticed both times when the city was hit hard below 42nd Street during Sandy, Harlem was bumping. People were eating, shopping, doing their thing. Also during 2020, yes, we were very careful with our mask and very aware the community was being hit hard by the pandemic, but also everyone in that neighborhood rallied around each other.
Right.
Whether it was like ordering food out or having an outside bar, businesses that would have closed possibly downtown did not close in Harlem.
Right.
And I have to applaud the community for that. And I want to say that out loud. So when people come visit New York City, I don't care who you are, take a moment, go uptown, go to Melba's, go to Red Rooster, go to a local bar in Harlem, or go hear some Senegalese music, or Yatanga, wherever you want to go. But drink it up, because it's a very resilient community.
Yeah, I mean, you could really eat your way through Harlem. There's so many amazing restaurants here. There's amazing lounges here. There's some amazing, arts institutions that are here or based in Harlem, from the Harlem Dance Theater of Harlem to the Apollo to, you have the Schomburg. I mean, there are a number of different, organizations or institutions that are here. And then you have some that are rebuilding themselves, such as the Studio Museum of Harlem. So again, as you mentioned, we are very resilient. You're right. During Sandy and even what was going on through 2020 and the pandemic, we are, if you look at the island of Manhattan, we are, on the one of the higher points. in the city. So, again, I am excited to be a resident. We are a small, a small town, a small neighborhood. Everyone kind of knows each other, and they're very proud. Even though I've been here for almost 29 years, I'm still the new person, the newbie. I mean, there are folks that were saying, "Oh my God, my family lived on this block for 100 years. We go back
generations." Yes.
So I'm like, okay, I just got here, but they really know, and they still embrace me and the wealth and the information. My grandmother, danced at the Cotton Club, and they have images and pictures that are amazing. I mean, if you think about, our culture right now, and especially pop culture, even the shows that are on cable right now, there are 6 shows that either have Harlem in the name or based around Harlem at this point in time. Yeah. So you're right. People around the world are actually seeing this thing or this place that's in New York City that I need to come and see. And I just think, again, it's an amazing way that we would be able to kind of showcase it. You had Musa, on the show. Yes. And, he was a part of the Summer of Soul, the film festival, that amazing festival that happened in 1969, and him as that spokesperson. And yeah, I was 6 years old. I don't remember what I did at 6, so him sharing that whole experience was amazing. But a lot of people wanted that, and that's why they move into the community, because they want a piece of that as well.
Yes. And what's interesting with Musa is that, like you were saying, families that have lived in Harlem for decades, if not centuries. Musa is one of those families. His father and his mother came from the South. I believe he said North Carolina. Yep. And knowing James Baldwin and knowing all of these historical figures, but not seeing them as that, but seeing them as neighbors, friends, family, whatever it was. And I think that's really beautiful and profound. And also being a male supermodel, one of the few Black male supermodels amongst the women at Elite, like Beverly Johnson. Yep. And the mega models of that time, the 70s and the 80s. I want to go back to, Richard, something about your executive producing, which is Burden, 90 Days, All Boys Aren't Blue. These are all award-winning short films and feature films. Talk to me.
So I had the opportunity of working with Nathan Hale Williams, and Nathan, yes, way back in the day when I was working with all the models at, Mega Personalities, Nathan was my entertainment attorney. And he was writing up all the contracts. And, one of the young ladies that also works, I represented, and I am her son's godfather, Tammy Ford, was in the office, and Tammy came and said, "Oh my God, you're so cute, you could get it." And, he was just like, "Oh my God, Richard, I think I want to model and I want to act." And so I'm like, "Okay, I'll send you out." I sent him out. And, that's when he met Maurice Jamal. They did a project called Ski Trip, and from Ski Trip to Dirty Laundry. And he decided, hey, I'm going to move out to California and I want to write. Fast forward to 2017, he sent me a script called 90 Days. And he was just like, Richard, I would love for you to, produce this with me. And I already started thinking that was something that I wanted to do. And for him to ask me, I was really honored. And then we took the script of 90 Days. And the idea was it to be a full feature, but we just took the first, 20 pages and turned it into a short, because it was a way that we would be able to talk to a number of different investors. And shopping it around to folks, they were like, "This is the complete thought. You should enter it into a couple of different film festivals." And then that kind of took its life on its own. And it really did open me up again to this thing called community, because as we started going from city to city to city, I started seeing how people were interacting with the film and sharing their experiences. So we came up with this concept called activism advocacy through storytelling. And all of the films that came after, it was a way that we would be able to share and tell stories that Hollywood doesn't always tackle, or, sometimes afraid to tackle. And that was our approach. So we did 90 Days. Then we did the film that you also were an executive producer on called Burden. And then we also did a film on homelessness in Los Angeles. That was actually really great. And then we had the opportunity to work with George Matthew Johnson on All Boys Aren't Blue, which was amazing. And now we are working on the continuation of 90 Days. And I don't want to say the continuation, but it's still in that same concept and the idea, but it's its own, movie in itself called All Boys Aren't, Love Will Save the Day.
Love Will Save the Day.
And so we're just going to shoot that in Chicago in September. And the idea is for us to be able to do the first rough cut preview on World AIDS Day on December 1st. So that's our goal and our idea. And I'm very excited about Love Will Save the Day for the simple fact that over the past 4 years of the people that we got a chance to meet and, hearing the stories, we're incorporating all of that into our marketing and promotion. We have a full-on 6-month marketing and promotion campaign that we're going to be doing leading up to World AIDS Day, and then a full 12 months after that. And it really is to talk about HIV and AIDS and stigma and how it's been affecting the Black community over the past 40 years. And again, there's so many people that were lost, but at the same time, there's so many amazing stories of resilience and triumph that we actually have. And we're looking to make sure that we'll be able to uplift all of those people as well. So I'm very excited about that as a producer and sharing this new child that we're getting ready to birth to first.
It's interesting, just to backtrack a little, 90 Days is beautifully done. It was beautifully art directed, produced, written, etc. When I saw it, I was just like, okay, I saw Nathan. I think I saw him for the first time in the biggest way. And I also saw his future as well. And I would say with Burden, beautiful, it just spoke to me as a Black man and the type of experience that we all have had. Or on the streets, corporate America, you name it, in the elevator. I can tell you story after story about those situations. But also that 90 Days got an award at Cannes Film Festival. Yeah. And that All Boys Aren't Blue got a GLAAD award,
right.
So I just want to just drop those little morsels in there. And also Burden won many awards. So let's just drop it all in there.
So yeah, I'm very excited and honored about all of the awards, but I think the biggest thing for me is the way that we get to engage with people that come up to us and saying, you really are sharing our story, or you're giving me the opportunity to be represented because I haven't. And that's what I'm very, very excited about. Even in our social media campaigns on giving, people the opportunity to be able to send in their video that we would be able to post and share their experience, to be seen, to be heard, and hopefully to be proud. So again, I try to be as 360 as possible, working with, corporate companies and sponsors, and doing trainings and diversity training programs and sensitivity training programs, figuring out how to, bring in multi-generational folks, because you hear folks that, everything is so young and young people know everything. And then you still have, our elders that have such knowledge and jewels to be able to share, and bringing those groups together, and is exciting to me. How do I create this place and this space digitally or in person? So
yes.
Are you ready to take that first step towards true, unwavering inner happiness? Are you like thousands of people who have everything they need, not want, but need, and still can't seem to find happiness and fulfillment in their lives? If so, the Steps to Happiness show is for you. On my show, you will learn about the principles and practices that lead to true inner happiness. Because guess what? It isn't found in our external environment, but within ourselves instead. Together with my guests, we will explore the latest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being practices. And together, we'll advise you on the actionable steps you can take towards a happier, more fulfilled, authentic life. So I invite you to join me each week on SlayTV TV on the Steps to Happiness show with me, Teresa Greco. Are you ready to take that first step towards true, unwavering inner happiness? Are you like thousands of people who have everything they need, not want, but need, and still can't seem to find happiness and fulfillment in their lives? If so, the Steps to Happiness show is for you. On my show, you will learn about the principles and practices that lead to true inner happiness. Because guess what? It isn't found in our external environment, but within ourselves instead. Together with my guests, we will explore the latest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being practices. And together, we'll advise you on the actionable steps you can take towards a happier, more fulfilled, authentic life. So I invite you to join me each week on SlayTV TV on the Steps to Happiness show with me, Teresa Greco.
We work so hard sometimes. Isn't it time for a break? Take a walk or enjoy nature. Or maybe a leap, or a ride, or even a dip. Spending time with a friend, or some time alone. Whatever it is, always spend time growing and learning with a SlayTV weekend. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on SlayTV TV.
Life is full of moments. And when sickness breaks your momentum, from the 5 a.m. stomach bug,
or stress and anxiety at work,
don't forget you have Teladoc.
great care options by phone, video, or app. 24/7 access to doctors. And access to therapists 7 days a week.
From anywhere you are, day or night. Whatever it is, we're always ready to help. So you can get back to enjoying life's best moments faster. Life is good. Enjoy it well.
Visit a doctor today without even leaving your home. For as little as $19.95 per month for a family plan, you get access to board-certified physicians as often as you need it. And there's $0 for medical visits anytime, anywhere. Register now by visiting solivity.com/health perks. That's solivity.com/health perks.
Welcome to your new you with Aspire by SlayTV. Virtual inspiration for your mind, body, and soul. The help of at-home experts and celebrity guests, Aspire by Solivity provides tools to tap into the passion and purpose that lives within you. Find classes to educate and motivate you. From nutrition to your body and a whole lot more. So, take the leap. Start your new journey with Aspire by Solivity today. Sign up now.
You know, we bring all of us, no matter what age group we are, socioeconomic. You know, we're very diverse. You know, the African diaspora is a diaspora of many points of view, as well as aesthetic. You know, as well as socioeconomics. So many things play into who we are, and I think it's important for media, if you're listening out there, to not see us as one group. You know, that we vote differently, we eat differently, we're drawn to certain types of things and the others not, but we are collective and we do move in a very powerful way. You know, especially as African Americans, quote unquote. Richard, I want to talk to you about gratitude. What are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for you, D'Angelo, for just giving me this platform to actually just share my story. As I said, I can, with a lot of other people, can probably talk all day about themselves, but you know, having the chance to really think about, you know, the journey, and hopefully I get a chance to inspire other folks that said, hey, if Richard can do it, I can do it as well. And you can. You have to be so-called famous, whatever famous is. I'm not looking to necessarily be famous, because fame costs, as Debbie Allen actually says. And that's
right here is where you start paying.
And this is where you start paying. It's a heavy dime. So I don't know if that's so much of what I want, but one of the things that you did say in the beginning of the interview is you heard about me before we ever really met. And I get that a lot from a lot of people, like, oh, I know, I've heard the name Richard E. Pelzer II, but they don't really know me, or they haven't really seen me. So one, you giving me the space for people to be able to actually see, you know, me. I want to say actually thank you for that. And it's exciting. It's something very new for me. I'm always either on the phone or putting deals together. So this is something a little bit different. I usually put people on the platform. I'm not the person that's usually being interviewed. So I want to say that I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you, Richard. You know, it's important that people see who's behind the talent, you know, and I call them magicians, maestros, composers, pulling many strings, you know, with media exposure, raising money, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of times, like you, I've done many things that people don't know about, you know, launched many careers that people don't know about. But at the same time, when I see it, I just smile within, because I know that I'm bringing more of us, you know, out into the universe, and that in itself makes me good. I don't need a check, you know, from that. What I need is that person is successful and moves forward, you know, and I will manifest what I need at the moment.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And I love the opportunity of succession. Like, that's very important to me. I don't want to have all of this knowledge and this information and it dies with me. I really want to be able to share it. My grandmother said to me and my sisters all the time, put your fingerprints on everything so people know that you were there. And I say that all the time for this, like, I get it all the time. Like, Richard, I didn't know that you were there. It's like Forrest Gump, right? You're like, all of a sudden you're like, I pop up here and I pop up here. Oh, I was there. And I was, and it was very, very, some of it's very exciting. So I'm just happy to be able to share all of that, and hopefully we'll be able to create and own. Ownership is really important.
Yes, it is.
for the community. And yeah, I'm very hopeful and excited about the future.
Yes.
And if we don't design it, said if we don't design it or if we don't plan it, somebody else will plan it for us. So I really would like for us to create it, for us to plan it, for us to own it as well.
Welcome to your new you with Aspire by Solivity. Virtual inspiration for your mind, body, and soul. With the help of at-home experts and celebrity guests, Aspire by Solivity provides tools to tap into the passion and purpose that lives within you. Find classes to educate and motivate you. From nutrition to your body and a whole lot more. So, take the leap. Start your new journey with Aspire by Solivity today. Sign up now.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame. Living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Solivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Solivity Magazine and Beyond Words Publishing want to remind you about the importance of continuing to follow public health guidelines to protect yourself, your loved ones, and your community. Please continue to wear a mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. Please visit these sites for further information about how to stay safe from COVID-19 into the new year. Remember, love protects us.
It's very important to be the master of your own destiny. Yep. You know, I'm the captain of my fate. I'm the master of my soul, Invictus. So it's very important. I'll stop it on that note. You know, it's about being a master, period. So I want to thank Richard Pelzer. Richard, how can we meet you? I mean, how can we find you, your website, your Instagram?
Yay! So if you go to HarlemCLX.com, that is our website, which is HarlemCLX.com. And then on Instagram, it's a HarlemCLX, you know, for all of it. So at HarlemCLX on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. But personally, if you wanted to get me, it's Richard E. Pelzer, Pelzer, the second, capital II. On Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's Little Mogul.
Okay, perfect. And everything will be here in caption, guys. So all the captions are here. You can go follow Richard, reach out to him. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And Richard, thank you so much for being here on Beauty and Gratitude.